What a day out there for the stocks. However, I have proof we are doomed. We look at the fear and greed index. We made it all the way to 61. Now we're trying to swing back. Will we get back into neutral territory? And is the yield curve about to uninvert? Keep in mind, in the past, when the yield curve uninverts, that is when bad things happen in the stock market. Now we come over and look at how the indices fared across the board. The Dow was up 243 points. The NASDAQ was down 39 points. S&P 500 down 0.22. Russell 2000 up 1.5. However, if you look at advancing issues versus declining, we can see there was 65% of issues advancing on the day, meaning there was more issues pushing to the upside. However, stocks could not hold on to their gains. Now we come over and look at how the indices fared across the board. We can see energy by far outpacing everything else, followed by basic materials, financials, industrials, consumer cyclicals. The big laggard of the day was really real estate and consumer defensives. So when we come over and look at crude oil, we see crude oil gets a nice bounce out here today, up almost 2% on the session. Now, what we're watching for in crude oil is if we can get above 77.62, that would validate the ABC pattern, takes us right up to the $80 price point. Then as we look at the dollar index, also getting a nice bullish push today, and we see the dollar index was up 0.33%. Then we come over and take a look at the precious metal gold. And today, precious metal gold basically having an inside day. It is coiling up, getting ready for that run, potentially all the way up here towards that ABC pattern completion at 25.86. Now, where that pattern would be invalidated would be if we come all the way back down, essentially breaking below 2,400. And right now, we are nowhere close to that point. So for the time being, I want to stay on the buy side. And you can see we just keep wedging up. We are making a series of higher lows, low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We have not made a recent higher high as of the last few trading sessions, but that could be right around the corner. Then as we come over and look at the volatility index, it was down 7.72%. And yesterday we saw the VIX was up 10%, which indicated that today or tomorrow was likely going to be an up day in the market. And I got to warn you guys, tomorrow has the potential to have some fireworks out there. Not only are we going to be embarking on a holiday come Monday, which normally favors the bulls in the market, but there is one more thing that could really drive stocks tomorrow, which we'll talk about here in just a few moments. After NVIDIA came out with earnings, we saw NVIDIA was sliding today, down 6.36%. Now, this is not looking all that healthy, and NVIDIA right now is very susceptible to coming back and trying to fill this gap at about 109.03. However, when we come over and look at the diamonds today pushing up and making another new all-time high, and we actually had a new closing all-time high as well. We did not close at the high of the session, but still enough to make a new all-time high. We also see the MACD indicator looks extremely strong, but then when we dive down, we look at the 30-minute chart, you can see we had that roll effect starting to take place. Now this morning, it might be a little bit hard to see, but you can see this wick of this candle, we came right into the minus development area, which we were talking about this morning on the live stream. Then as we come over, look at the daily chart for the Russell 2000, the small caps, look what we did today. Basically a doji candle. We went above, we went down below, and we really went nowhere for the trading session. However, when we come over and we start looking at the NASDAQ, for instance, it's going to be a completely different story. You can see the wick on top of this candle. We went screaming to the upside only to come back down. And we're talking about this during the live stream. And this is the potential for a bull flag pattern. If we go ahead and we draw this out, we have the flag pole, and then here is going to be the flag. Can we get a break above? If so, that could be exactly what the market needs in order to come over here, fill in the gap over here to the left, and coming over here and go ahead and retest in this high volume area on the composite profile. So we need to keep an eye on that. On the 4-hour chart, you can see the MACD indicator is starting to roll over. Then as we look at the 1-hour chart, notice what we have going on over here, right? We gapped up. Oh, we came all the way back down, filling the gap. Now, the MACD indicator really not giving us a huge edge on this chart, but at the time being, if this low holds, that would be an actual case where we actually are starting to set a higher low, which could be part of a bottoming process to go ahead and break out of that bull flag pattern. Then we look out here on the 30-minute chart, and today we can see we rallied up, we got above the high from yesterday and even the high from the day before, and then complete failure, and we came crashing back down in the afternoon session. MACD indicator is back below the zero line and crossed to the downside at this moment. Now, when we look at the futures markets, we're watching all day long during the live stream. We were watching this minus development area. When we came into it, we were looking for a bounce out. We sliced right through it. So no trade, I believe, was taken at that point. We came down to the 50. We came all the way down to 61.8 before finally starting to get a bounce. Now, is that all she wrote? Is this going to set up a much larger A to B equals C to D pattern on the way up? And if we were to draw that out, we could go ahead and grab our Fibonacci extension tool from the swing low all the way to the swing high, back down to the low, and we can see that would give us a price completion at about 19,891. Now I want to make everybody aware, Apex having an 80% sale off all their valuation accounts, $35 reset fees, passed in as little as 1 day, and they've extended $85 lifetime activation fee on all accounts. If you want to take advantage of this offer, use the link in the description box down below and use promo code Mike at checkout. Now, if that is going to take place, we do not want to see the market break below this swing low, somewhere in the ballpark of 19,337. Now, if we draw that same pattern out over here on the 4-hour chart, let's go ahead and see, does that take us all the way up here towards this point of control? It most certainly does. So that would be a way where we can go ahead and test that untested point of control from the weekly time frame and go ahead and complete the ABC pattern. So if you're catching what I'm throwing out, yes, I am slightly bullish on the market for tomorrow. Now we come over and look at the volume profile levels real quick. We have value area low coming in about 19,431.50. We have the point of control up here at 19,631.00. Value area high will come in at 19,690.00. So as long as we are above value area low, I want to stay on the buy side of the market. I want to look and see, can the market go ahead and rally all the way up here towards this point of control at 19,631. However, we got to be mindful of this minus development area right over here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this off. One, this should act as a magnet for price, but two, this could also be an area where the market fails and we start coming back down. Now that zone is going to be about 19,512 all the way up to about 19,526. Now we come over, look at this article right here. Dollar General stock set for a record drop as core customers feel worse off. Now that does not sound like a soft landing to me. If we come over and look at Dollar General, yikes, down 32% on the session. Now keep in mind, this is what I'm talking about when I say proof, right? If customers feel worse off, regardless how good the economy is, at some point, this negativity, this pessimism will factor into companies' earnings as people will start tightening up on their spending moving forward. So we need to pay very close attention to this. We are on the same path that we are always on when the Fed goes on an aggressive rate cutting campaign. Now, tomorrow being Friday, this is another factor that can drive our markets, and that is going to be at 8:30 a.m. We have the core PCE price index coming out, followed by Chicago PMI at 9:45. Now, the core PCE price index is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. And let's not forget, we are only 19 days away from the next FOMC meeting where the Fed is expected to start cutting rates. Now we come over, look at the SPY. We also have a candle, right? Big wick on the top of the candle, but could this be nothing more than trying to shake out the weaker longs and trapping some of the lower level shorts in the market, meaning lower level shorts inside of this consolidation, not lower level shorts all the way down here. Then we come over and we look at the 4-hour chart. MACD indicator is rolling over to the downside. On the 1-hour chart, you can see the MACD indicator is basically flat by the zero line, which could be nothing more than getting ready for the next move, which could be higher. We see the S&P actually making new all-time highs. Now, as we look out here on the 30-minute chart, notice this morning when we broke up, we came right back down to the minus development area. Then we came all the way down this afternoon. We were almost able to hit the secondary minus development area right below us. However, we were unable to hit that area. Now, if you notice, a majority of the volume for today was conducted at the lower end of the range. We do have a little bit of volume up here as well. If we can really start clearing, I'd say anywhere probably above 559, we're probably going to go ahead and rotate back up towards this upper area where we have a lot of volume back up here towards these highs. Then as we come over and look at the futures markets, notice all we're doing is basically consolidating up here at these upper levels. When we consolidate near higher prices, what do we expect? We expect higher prices in the future. So we need to be on the lookout for that. Now, we really need to be able to clear this high volume area. We've had a hard time. We keep trading right around this area. If we can clear that area, then that would really open the door for a run towards all-time highs in this market. Now, when we come over and we look at the 30-minute volume profile levels, notice We came all the way down to the 61.8 fib level. Now, all day long during the live stream, I kept saying, do not be surprised if we get a minimum retracement down to the 38% retracement. When we overshot that level, we went a little bit further. Now, if we go ahead and we look, we got that same ABC pattern that we talked about with the NASDAQ, and that would go something like this: A to B, B to C, and that gives us a price completion all the way up here at 5,700. Now, if we zoom this out, we can see that would not take us all the way back over to the new all-time highs just yet. But then as we come over and look at the volume profile levels, we have value area high coming in at 5662.00. We have the point of control at 5649.50 and value area low coming in at 5618.00. If we can clear above value area low, then I'm looking for the market to rotate towards the point of control. However, if you're looking for a quick target, one of the areas that we could focus on would be this distribution area right here on the profile, which really comes in about 56.26. Now, if you guys want to learn a 3-step easy approach to trading trend continuation, make sure to watch this video right here.